to comment on all the pointers, but before that, I will go to Pavanji. Pavanji, if you look at digitalization and automation, please tell me what are the important challenges you find and which you'd be looking for the answer from Dheeraj sir today, that GSTN can cater or eBabel portal can cater or IRP portal can cater. So these challenges are very important. So please tell me what are the challenges you have come across when you talk about digitalization and automation.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. So, sir, I think today morning our chairman of CBIC has said that to bring the uniformity in the field formation of the practices which they are adopting, we are more focusing on technologically driven systems. And I think today GSTM is also playing good role in that. I will take the opportunity to bring some crucial points before the senior VP of GSTM so that can bring into the system. So section 73 says that if you pay the tax and interest prior to issuance of show cause notice, your show cause notice will not be issued to you. And even they provide the opportunity that even within 30 days of issuance of show cause notice, if you pay the interest and penalty, interest and tax, you will not require to pay the penalty. And there is a system in the law itself that if any discrepancy will be found in the returns, they first issue the ASMT 10 to you. And I've seen at many cases that we got the opportunity to rectify our mistakes and we pay tax, interest, get it closed. And there is another procedure prior to issuance of show cause notice. There is a requirement of issuing of DRC 01A for the pre-intimation of the show cause notice, so that you, if you are agree with that, you can pay the tax, pay the penalty, or pay the interest and get it set off. But sir, what is happening? Department is issuing directly show cause notices, and my chance to assess my liability actual and pay prior to issuance of show cause notice or even within 30 days is getting lapsed. I am missing this opportunity repeatedly. And I will give you example. 3 months back, I have represented one of my client in one state, not in Delhi, but in another state. Put this ground in almost 20 pages that you have to provide me 2 chances, ASMT 10, DRC 01A, but you have not provided. Today, I am received same show cause notice for a different client for same department, direct show cause notice. So sir, my request to you is that you can make a process in the GSTN for the department also, that prior to show cause notice, they must be asked why you are not issuing ASMT 10, so that they can be educated. At least they should have, they may issue direct show cause notice as per the practical requirement, but prior to that, they should be asked that why you are not issuing ASMT 10 and why you are not issuing DRC 01A in the portal itself. Department, I think, not educated properly that they have to follow this procedure prior to direct coming to the show. So my first submission to you, sir, you may bring it into the GSTN portal itself for the department. Second issue which I'm coming across is, today department is scrutinizing the GSTN 9 and 9C and all returns and issuing the notices to me. So what I've seen recently, there is a difference in GSTN 9, right? But different does not mean that I have short paid the tax or excessively availed the ITC. Some column says, because what happened in my case, my GSTN 9 in somewhere I am not so much in returns, but there is some differences coming in GSTN 9 of ITC, because they asked some question, standard question from me in the returns, and I have put the figures. But I have availed a credit through my GSTR 3B. My credit has went into my ECL through GSTR 3B only. So there is no excess availment of credit. But I received the show cause notice merely on the fact that there is a difference coming on GSTR 9. So department should be aware while you are giving them a data analytics. When you give a flag to them that there is a difference in the returns, they must also be aware that this difference is not impacting any excess availment of ITC or short payment of tax. And what happened in one of the case, there is two show cause notice separately come to me. One is based on the GSTR 9, same impact because of the some figure error, same impact went to 9C, another show cause notice on the 9C. So what is problem I am facing? Repeatedly notices or maximum notices which I am receiving on this errors, which is not actual error, just because initial days GST returns formats are also getting developed. So I think forms के अंदर भी सर कुछ problems थी, वो problems आज show cause notice में convert होके आ गई. So this require attention and education to the field formation from the GSTN network side, that these fields of the forms are not relevant for the tax liabilities. Sir, one, two, three thing in this case itself, that when I file a reply to my show cause notice or ASMT 10, we as a tax professional know that there is an option to opt for the personal hearing, but by default it is no. Do you want option of personal hearing? By default option is no. You should make it a mandatory, like without yes or no you can't proceed, so that SSC get aware that whether I actually want a hearing or not. It is by default no. So once if somebody is ignoring that, it gets submitted with a no option of personal hearing. So it may cause a hardship to me without a hearing opportunity. So it should make a mandatory option by choosing yes or no rather than defaulted no. There is no mechanism of taking adjournment. So what is how we are taking the adjournment on the portal? If you are getting SCN, so you have to reply SCN in DRC 06. So for taking the adjournment, I have to file the same reply. It seems to be that I am replying to the SCN, but it's an adjournment. So please put an option for seeking the adjournment in the system itself. There is at present no system for seeking the adjournment. There is a great, from the morning itself, we are saying that recipient should not be penalized, but at least one thing, compliance rating of the taxpayers should bring as soon as possible, so that I will get to know about my supplier, whether he is compliant SSC or not. So this is a requirement of the entire industry of the compliance rating. So that's few submissions from my side, sir.
So before I hand over to you, one thing which we all would be looking for the answer from your side. When there's a provision for scrutiny notices to be sent in the case of differences while scrutinizing the GST return. Now, Pawan has raised the issue that without issuance of scrutiny notices, he is issuing so-called notices. Do we have any system in place on GST and for reporting by the officer as well, that he should not issue so-called notice at first go when he's supposed to issue a scrutiny notices ASMT 10? क्या सिस्टम में है? अगर सिस्टम उसे फ्लैग करेगा कि भाई आप सो कॉज नोटिस इशू नहीं कर सकते अभी इस मूवमेंट पे, फर्स्ट यू सेंड स्क्रूटनी नोटिस, तो आपको लिटिगेशन कम करने में उसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी, उसके बाद भी अगर वो ओवरराइड कर रहा है तो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा ऐसे कौन से ऑफिसर हैं दोज हु आर नॉट फॉलोइंग. क्या सिस्टम उनको वार्न कर, जैसे टैक्स पेयर को तो कई जगह वार्न करता है, तुम नेगेटिव नहीं डाल सकते, तुम्हें पॉजिटिव डालना है. कई बार मुझे भी लगता है कि टैक्स ऑफिशियल्स, क्योंकि उनकी हैंड होल्डिंग भी आज सेंटर इज मोर इन रीच कंपेयरिंग द स्टेट ऑफिसर. सो आई एम नॉट सेइंग, आई एम नॉट क्रिटिक्स हियर, आई एम ओनली सेइंग दैट वी ऑल आर लर्निंग इन ए प्रोसेस. लेकिन अगर जीएसटीएन ऑटोमाइजेशन कर रहा है तो उनके लिए भी कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे स्टिकिंग पॉइंट होने चाहिए कि भाई सो कॉज नोटिस से पहले DRC 01A इशू कर दे, आप टिक कीजिए इसको, या रिप्लाई नहीं आई तब आप 30 डेज का टाइम लीजिए, फिर आपको उसको. कई बार तो ऐसा देखा गया DRC 01A आया और उसके बाद इमीडिएटली 2 दिन के अंदर सो कॉज नोटिस आपके पास आ जाते हैं. तो कई बार वो टिकिंग अगर होगी ना, यू कैन ऑल्सो फोकस कि ये जो ऑफिसर्स हैं जिनने ये इशू किया, दे हैव नॉट फॉलोड द सटल compliances accordingly. So we have given a lot of insight from a trade perspective. Now handing over to you for your remarks, and then we will start certain question answers. No, he has got enough time. He's got enough
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take the last question first. That there should be a provision that you should issue a ASFT 10 first and then the show cause notice. Now, as the history of GSTN is going and the building of a software, my previous CEO used to say that we are building a ship as it is sailing, and we had started building it. So initially, there was no law. I mean, one model law was given, which was much different than the law that was finally enacted. And based on that, you were supposed to build the law, build the system. So whatever system they built, then subsequently it was said कि नहीं नहीं ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं बना रहा. उसके बाद दूसरा बनाया, GSTR 1, 2, 3 बनाओ. कह जी अब ये भी नहीं चाहिए, अब फिर दूसरा बनाओ. तो अब आप घर पे तो सोच सकते हो, जो विमल जी ने सजेस्ट किया ही था कि घर पे आप एक बार कह के देखना, फिर आपको क्या मिलता है. So that is the similar situation with us. Now with GSTN, the primary work that was supposed to be done was that you have to have registration, you have to have returns, you have to have the assessment by the officers, and then whatever show cause notices, recovery, and all these functions, and the complete front end has to be made for the tax officer, taxpayers. So primary aim was to have the front end of the taxpayers, and then the secondary was to have the back end for the officers. Now back end, the automation of the tax officer's office is perhaps the first time being undertaken in India. There was no automation earlier. If you go back to excise or the service tax regime or whatever regime, there was no complete automation. I can definitely say so because I was involved in the automation of the excise and service tax and customs also, and here also. So now the things are coming in bits and pieces. Now assessment module I do not look, so I am not aware, but then that is a definitely genuine demand that there should be first ASFT 10 and then thereafter there should be a show cause notice. But all said and done, in a system when you build, you have to have enough flexibility and you have to provide the mechanism to have a manual override also at times. So even if I do, I will provide ASFT 10 and give an alert that you have not done, but I would not be stopping the officer if he says, no, I don't want it, I want to issue a show cause notice. So this is more of a policy, more of an administrative problem rather than the problem of the system. Then the second